Jack, Ryan. We'll be back right after this quick break. Welcome back. It truly is grand final time here at the Call of Duty Invitational, sponsored by Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. New season out December 21, only days away. We've been hyping it up all day long, not long now until the new season is out. And we don't have to wait today. We don't have to wait any longer. We don't have to wait days, though, for today's grand final. We started off with 8 teams from around ANZ, a team from Japan as well, which was pretty exciting. And I kind of feel, guys, that maybe I was hyping up Team Greeds a little bit earlier on in the day, and people are like, Sam, and if you hype them up too much and they don't win, are you going to feel silly? No, I'm not going to feel silly, Ms. MDK, because they're in the grand final.
That's it. You know, I was very excited to see Team Greeds perform. Obviously, they're our only team from Japan against a bunch of Aussies, but they're just proving why they're here to win it, and they're going through. And I feel like this is going to be a battle for the ages.
Yeah, I think so too. I think maybe these were the two teams that weren't predicted. Jacko did say that he thought Team Voxy was actually pretty good, and they did come through with the goods in the second semi-final up against Team Fangetta. And we take a look at the bracket, we can kind of break down how we got here today. We start off, it's been a pretty long day. There's been a lot of COD, and you know, we had our teams, Team Chrissy, Team Greeds, Team Vauxy, and Team Fangetta, our top 4 seeds, right? And you would say, okay, well, those seeds you assume probably going to make it through to the semi-finals, which all 4 of them did. But this is where things got a little bit spicy, Jordan. Team Greeds taking down Team Chrissy. That was Seed 4 taking down Seed 1.
Yep.
And I kind of feel like they did so convincingly.
I think so. I mean, it stands to reason that if you can take down Seed 1, you can probably take down Seed 2. So I don't think that Team Greeds are out of this grand final by any stretch of the imagination. I think they've really stepped up quite nicely. Obviously, they're playing from Japan as well, so for them to make their way all the way through to the grand final, I think is quite a testament to the strength of the team that they've brought into this competition. So you've got to give them some credit. Even Greeds himself as an individual was quite up there in the FFA that we just got to watch. So, you know, you put all that together and you say, as far as even the input that they're getting from their quote-unquote influence or their quote-unquote captain or whatever, that's even quite a high bar. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was a bit of a surprise for me to see see Team Christie going down in that fashion, but Team Greeds, they looked really good. And yeah, it makes it a hard choice as to who I want to predict going into this grand final.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit tricky. I'm not sure who's going to win. Like, I'm going to put that out there. And the interesting thing for me, right? You've got a team like Team Voxy, who's combined with a Warzone player, influencer, plus some pro players, right? Then you got a team like Team Greeds. It's actually captained by an ex-pro.
Yep.
Right?
Well, that makes sense, right?
So, really you would think that fourth player in a team like Team Greeds is maybe a little bit stronger, but is it as strong as a roster of 3 of the best Aussie players? That's the tricky question, right? And I think, to be fair, it doesn't matter what we think. We don't need to answer that because that's what the grand final's for.
Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, we've seen Team Greeds and like individually the players on that team have popped off in different segments. Like I remember just cheering on Goro, and then, Win Red took the lead, and we didn't see much from Greeds, and then Greeds came out popping, and then, it all just collectively worked together. And then, we obviously have Team Voxy with our 3 pro players, and, they work with a good cohesion, and it just could be anybody's game.
It could, but I'm going to make you pick one. Who do you think's going to win?
Okay. I've just seen such good play from Greeds, and I'm probably going to go Greeds.
Okay. Team Greeds for Ms. MDK. What about you, Jordan?
I guess I'll go Voxy.
Yeah.
Just to be a point of difference. But I mean, I think this is a bit of a 50-50. It's very hard to predict.
It feels like it's anyone's game. That's the thing for me. I feel like this could go anyway. It's a best of 5, so we've had best of 3s all day. Best of 5, guaranteed to get to control this time around. And then I think we reverse it back out. So you got S&D at the end, and then a hard point in 4th should we get there. This might go all the way. We could be here all night, which is okay because Jack Ryan's not out on Prime Video until December 21. So we've got essentially 4 days to work with here. I don't think we need to be here for 4 days.
I probably don't want to be here for 4 days. That's a long time.
It's a long time. Well, fortunately, it's only a best of 5. So I don't know if I need to be the tiebreaker here. I could be the tiebreaker. I actually don't know who I think is going to win.
Well, I mean, you can't just sit here impartial.
Well,
at this point.
I absolutely can because all of my predictions all day have been right.
So you got to call a tie. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I need a coin flip.
It's not possible. It's impossible. They can't tie.
Yeah, both teams just did extremely well. Like I want to go for both teams as well. I just remember watching some really great gameplay from Greeds' team, but Team Voxy also did amazing stuff and could just take this for the win. And you know what? Time will tell.
Time will tell. I'm going to pick Team Voxy. I'm going to go Team Voxy. And that's a coin flip in my mind because I think it really could go either way. But it's going to be a best of 5. We obviously haven't played a best of 5 at all today. It's been a long day, a bit of pressure for these teams now. They're playing for 8K. Both teams guaranteed $4,000. Not bad at all. We take a look at the prize pool and we can see how this is played out. I think Chrissy's team came 3rd, 4th, right, so they're going to get 1,500 plus. She's going to pick up a grand for herself. So Team Chrissy's turned up, come out okay.
Pretty nicely.
And Team Fangetter's going to come out as well with $1,500. And then $8,000 for first. That is more than 50% of the total prize pool. So it's a lot of cash. A lot is on the line. But we're pretty much ready to jump in the game. This is exciting. Best of 5, first best of 5 of the day. And if I have to get a message out there, it's I just want a big shout out to Prime Video and Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, because without them we wouldn't have this first essentially ANZ invitational, right, for Modern Warfare 2. We haven't had one of these at all so far for Modern Warfare 2. So without them, we wouldn't be here. So a massive shout out. But it's Greeds v Voxy, the grand final. Everything on the line.
Everything on the line indeed. Let's find out how it will play out. We're kicking things off here on Embassy. And so, obviously, we'll see, a little bit of a change-up. We've been watching Embassy so far. It has been S&D. Now, it's hard point. And so far, so good for Voxy to kick things off.
That's it. First team to 250 points on hardpoint. This is the grand finals. This is everything. Instead of best of 3, it is now best of 5. So even if they don't, both teams don't perform so well here, they still have a couple more chances to get themselves that cash monies. But it looks like Team Voxy is just in the lead by 30 points. That's still not a great lead, and great shots by Luca, taking out AG as well. Somebody put some water on Luca. He's on fire at the moment, and we just see another shot taken down Greeds. Jordan, this Luca is just on fire.
Yeah, Luca's really working hard for the squad right now. 6-1. Eventually, he's going to be shut down there by Goru. But end of the day, you have to say, I mean, Voxy off to a great start here. 40 points almost on the board. Goru does manage to pick up a double. And I think you're going to keep your eyes on Goru and win red in this matchup. Goru in particular seems to have stepped up to start things off. And has a really nice line to play here. Just gets that trophy system down as well. And it's time for Greeds to start fighting their way back into control of things.
Yes, and great shots by each and every player. You know, it's not a spray and pray such gameplay. Everybody just has excellent on-point aim, and so it's equally matched in that sense. It's just a little bit of game sense could go here and there, but we see Greeds slowly creeping up on that board, 25, and Voxy sitting there at a 39. It looks like we're just going down with the points here. Goru seems to be in front for the team with the 6-4 KD. They're just doing excellent stuff for this team. It doesn't look like there's been a lot of capture on Team Greeds, but Voxy and, you know, Luca leading the charge for them. Here we're watching Zach biding their time, waiting for patience, taking out Gore, and unfortunately it looks like Greeds is just taking a trifecta.
Yeah, I mean, Voxy still in the lead at the moment, but it is a bit of a tenuous lead. You do have Luca in a good spot to lock down that next hard point, but waiting to see whether or not that is going to end up occurring. Zach just chilling for the moment. Waiting for those rotations to come on through. AYG might just catch the timing here. It's gone all wrong. Luca finds AYG. And that is unfortunate for Greeds. Voxy now really starting to pull their way ahead, up to 70 points. 2 seconds left on that hard point. Going to start to see Luca make the rotation across to the next one, which is already in control for Voxy. How long that's going to last, I do wonder, as we do start to see some kills come through for Team Greeds. But Voxy to get themselves a big step up there from Zach. A double from him. Fighter gets one. And even though the trades are starting to come through for Greeds, there's just the respawners in time for Voxy to maintain control and keep that hard point ticking in their favour.
Yes, it looks like there was a nice little battle there, but Voxy just seems to be holding and controlling this quite well. Everybody is working with some synergy, this team. Voxy waiting there patiently in a corner. Doesn't seem to get a sort of kill on anybody, but here we go! Voxy taking out Greed. Still patiently waiting and holding those angles is what you need to do, and just make sure that, you know, you can collect your prey coming around the corner as we watch Greeds rushing in and making a rotation. Will they be able to capture this? Looks like Voxy's 117. They are well ahead in front of Team Greeds. And Gora with the sneaky shot there.
Well, this is not a great look so far for Team Greeds, to be honest with you. The fact that this is now starting to blow out, as one-sided as it has thus far. Fighter can't quite hang on for that second kill, but you know, you've still got plenty coming through from Voxy here. 13 and 10 for Fighter, 11-7 for Zach Lucas, 14 and 8, and even Voxy upholding her end of the bargain, 8 and 7, doing a very good job. You're going up against a team that has a former pro as their influencer, and to be honest, you're actually performing better. So, you know, you're going to be happy with that. And you're going to be happy with how this is proceeding so far. Voxy, I mean, they're losing kills. They're losing players here and there, but they're still keeping control of this hard point until there's, what, 14 seconds left on it. And right now, once those respawners come through for Voxy, they're like, whatever. You know, if we lose the point there, who cares? They're going to get another 10% for free, but
yeah,
they get straight back on it anyway.
Waiting for that timer to tick down. This might be a new strategy that we haven't seen. And Team Voxy just taking the lead of 160 points. Greeds need to do something exceptional here to catch up, but what we've seen in previous games is, you know, it could still be anybody's game at this point. Greeds just need to make a good play and capture. Goro just taking out Voxy there, AG taking out Fighter. Looks like we've had a trade there with Rush and Zach getting a double kill and making their way in just to maybe regroup with the team. But Voxy just still taking the lead here. And Zach is just going here, but unfortunately gets eliminated by WinRed.
Yeah, Zach with a dead silence there, really wanted to make a play. And able to get the 1 kill, but not much more than that. Still, Voxy well and truly in control of this map at the moment. WinRed trying to work his way through, but just runs into that sightline that Luca and Fighter were holding. And this is looking so damn good for Voxy. They don't have the point right now, but they are fragging out. They are slaying at the moment.
Yeah, we see a little bit of a stabilization on the points there. Team Voxy still ahead and creeping their way up again. All they need to do is get to 250 to win this first match. It is best of 5, so we were having best of 3, but it's best of 5, so everybody still has a chance. But looks like Team Voxy may take out Hardpoint for their first match. Here we see WinRed, an exceptional play we've seen over today. Unfortunately gets eliminated. Voxy's just out for blood. Voxy is just ready to win this for her team.
Have to say so. 187 points. We're getting pretty close to a very convincing hardpoint victory here for Team Voxy. Fighter alongside Voxy up on the high ground right now, looking for a pick to swing things back in their favor. They're more than happy to just give those last 10 seconds over to Team Greeds and then pretty much hunt for the victory here. I mean, if they were to get the full 60 seconds, it just wouldn't quite be enough to get it over the line. But given they're already in full control of that point, they're going to start ticking that up already. Voxy, team kill onto Luca. Not ideal, but Luca's already got himself the one on the way out. And 195 achieved for Voxy, but no more. So Greens are fighting hard. They're trying to keep it in the ring.
That's it. Team Voxy over the board there. It seems to have Voxy controlling the point with 2 minutes on the time. And the rest of Team Voxy just getting kill after kill after kill. A little bit of a protect the queen moment. And as we see Voxy leading the charge with 195 points. A great little nade there from Zach, and we have WinRed. Greeds need to catch up, and it looks like they are putting some points on the board. And we just see Zach obliterating the enemies. Zach has been doing an amazing time today and really pulling it together for Team Voxy.
I mean, a bit of a comeback starting to be put together, though, by Greeds. It's been difficult for Voxy on that last point. They more or less give it all up and put all of their eggs in the basket of this next one, and that has actually gone quite well for them. They're in full control. They got those first couple of kills. The respawns are coming through for Greeds, but there's 210 already on the board for Voxy, and that means Greeds is going to have to move quickly. Good kill from AG onto Luca. Zach and Fighter also go down pretty quick. Smart and Voxy not long for this world beyond that fact. So, well, Voxy are doing it tough in the last little passage of play. Greeds are getting their way back into it. And it is now unwinnable for Voxy on this point. We'll have to go to the next.
Yes, so we just saw Goro from Team Greeds just making their rotation around there. And unfortunately, Voxy tried to come for the flank but didn't get a kill on Goro, which putting them in a better position than they were. But Team Voxy here still on top, still doing amazing things. Luca here almost peppering some shots on Goro. Doesn't unfortunately get the kill. Here we go. Team Greeds is putting some points on this. We're still so close. I do believe that Team Voxy may take home this first win. But Team Greeds is working hard to try and catch their lead.
Well, it's definitely looking like Voxy will take it from here. 237 points. Nice little kill there for Fighter. Zach as well. Posted on the line. Comfortably gets it over the line as well. 242 and ticking upwards for Voxy. This will be the first map on the board for the grand final. Going the way of the ANZ roster. And they do it pretty comfortably in the end as well. Maybe not as clean as it could have been at one point. It was looking like it might even shape up for something like 250 to 100. But ultimately still really, really quite comfortable compared to some of the games that we've seen so far today on Hardpoint. So overall, you've got to say that's a great start to the series for Team Voxy.
Yeah, a pretty convincing victory to come straight out. So I know when we spoke to Voxy before, she was a little bit nervous, right, as she would be coming into the grand final. up against a team like Team Greeds, but convincing for sure. 250 to, that mid-100. It could have, as you said, ended much earlier. So for me, Miss MDK, that's pretty convincing. I think if you're Team Voxy right now, you're a Team Voxy fan, you're feeling pretty confident after that game.
Yeah, they did exceptionally well, and they've just been coming into this competition and just taking names, and we are still best of 5 at the moment, so they could have a little bit of a struggle here, but yeah, it looks like Team Voxy are here to win.
Yeah, let's roll.
Take the top.
They are. Let's roll some replays, and we'll take a look at some of the highlights from that game. But that's a great start. And what were your big picks from this one, Jordan?
I think once again, you pretty much saw the big three of Voxy, the Mind Freak lads, doing really well for themselves. That is very much to be expected. But actually, I think my big takeaway was that Voxy individually did step up quite a bit in this map. I thought...
Look at that, 10 and 10.
Yeah, 10 and 10. I think this is exactly the kind of role that you want to be filling as the influencer coming in.
Yeah.
If you can hold your own, if you can go even and go 1 for 1, you're not a detriment to the team. And anything you get beyond that is a massive bonus. So,
and if you get an even KD ratio, you get an ice cream at the end.
Do ya?
Yeah.
I want an ice cream.
Yeah, and $8,000.
That buys a lot of ice creams, actually.
It is a lot of ice cream. It's a lot of Prime Video as well.
Yeah, but look, I mean, I think it sort of was working across the board there for Team Voxy. So we'll see whether or not, swapping things around is going to help out Team Greeds. The interesting thing for me was that Greeds was actually hosting that. It was Team Greeds that were hosting.
Yeah,
so
right.
If there was going to be any discussion around ping or blah, 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 this or that, I mean, you would have seen them win that round, right? But the fact that Voxy's been able to do it, now we move on to S&D on El Bagra Fortress, I think, I mean, everything seems to be pointing positively towards Voxy.
Yeah, and I actually thought they played quite well. To be fair, I think both of these teams actually played relatively well when it came to S&D when we saw them last time around. So I think what Team Greeds, I think, won on S&D, and then Voxy, they got the turnaround, right? They lost Hardpoint the first time. So it's the fact that they come out, they won Hardpoint, which was the map they lost the first time when we saw them in the semi, and now onto S&D. So Team Voxy looking pretty good, but a best of 5, as we said, and Team Greeds has already done pretty well today. So I think, they're not going to let this one, slow them down too much. They'll be looking for a comeback.
Yeah, exactly. And I really loved watching Team Greeds on Search and Destroy and just seeing Stocker take a little bit of a lead to them. So I feel like they got a little bit of a tactic going in. But then again, Team Voxy are just proving why they're here. So, yeah, it could be anybody's game still. But excited to see what happens in Search and Destroy. I know it's one of our favourite maps, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love S&D. I'm a big S&D fiend. It's a very different style of gameplay, and even more different, I think. Like, I don't know, maybe you disagree, Jordan. Like, particularly for some of these Warzone players that we see coming through. Like, obviously in Warzone, again, theoretically only got one life to live.
You value your life a bit more.
You value your life a little bit more, but obviously people can pick you up and blah, blah, blah. Very quickly in a game of S&D, you can find you're down, your teammate's down. How are we now in a 2v4? Where did that come from?
You're having a clutch up against a squad of 4 or something like that.
But it's S&D time. We'll jump back in. Voxy up against Greeds. It's our grand final. And Team Voxy currently 1-0 up in this best of 5.
Indeed. Well, let's see if Team Greeds can bring it back or if they're going to be facing match point after going down 2-0 in this series. It would be really tough to come back from a deficit like that. Already, though, off to a good start. Couple of kills with the U-tilt. And Voxy are going to find it difficult to now close out a 2-on-4, you'd think.
Yeah, so we have Team Greeds defending, already taking 3 lives from Team Voxy. This is where they shine, and that was
bonked him in the head.
Just a little bit of a left-right good night. And Team Greeds taking the first point there for Search and Destroy. We have seen them do this in previous games, so not surprising.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think that's just a bit of an awkward start for Team Voxy. I'm not going to read into that one too much, losing 2 players to nades. It's going to happen every now and then. Very difficult to come back from, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves just yet. We've got a lot more to keep our eyes on.
Exactly. So we have Greeds on the attacking side and Team Voxy defending here. This is a new map we haven't seen tonight as well. Goro just holding this angle. Looks like Team Voxy is just planting themselves nicely on an angle, not being able to be seen by Goro. And Zach been playing excellent today, but not good enough for Win Red. Looks like they have just eliminated an AG on Greed, so it is a 3v3 currently. And Win Red there with the bomb on the attack. Luca just waiting patiently here, like a slithery snake in the grass, just waiting for these people to pop out, and he can take a limb there. We are still 3v3. Greed's ahead with 1 point. But, you know, best of 6. There's still a little bit of time for everybody to get the feel for this. Guru just missing some shots.
Yeah, but I think he's actually a little bit lucky there because he's kind of drawn out the peak from Fighter and not gone down to it. He knows where he is. Had a chance in that engagement. Still not going to go his way. So the bomb is going to rotate its way over toward the B site. And that'll get planted by Win Red, which leaves it to Greeds to try to cut off the rotates needed to get one. I don't think you see a 1v3 one here by Win Red. 1v2, I'll give you a crack, but 1v3, this is going to have to be very difficult. Needs to isolate some 1v1s. Good spot to do it from, and does pop the dead silence. So I kind of like what I'm seeing. He's gotten around behind Voxy here. Very much possible still that he could pull off the unthinkable, but I think his position now known. I think Lucas might have been able to spot him out there, and defuse is on. So he's going to have to take that peek, and peeking into an angle like that with 3 players watching it is never going to go well.
That's it. I thought popping the dead silence there would have been a nice little play, but not enough. Team Voxy then taking the second round. We are 1 for 1. Still anybody's games here, 1st to 6. But yeah, Team Voxy just working really well there. Obviously, Team Greed's planting the bomb, but only having 1 left alive. Team Voxy just solidifying the win and working extremely well as a team.
Yeah, pretty tight on map 2. Stand out so far. Fighter 3-1 in the first couple of rounds. Guru swapped up to the scope. We saw Guru have a lot of success with the scope for Greeds earlier, but that was on Embassy when we were playing S&D on Embassy. Haven't seen it in the Al Bagra Fortress. Interested to see how that does end up panning on out. Zach just round the corner at the wrong time. Not prepared for a member hiding there.
Hit Win Red with the first blood there on Zach. Zach not watching the corners properly. Gori here holding an angle with this scope. Hopefully this gets a nice little nade planted in there. And doesn't seem to do too much damage. But Luca waiting patiently for the team. And unfortunately, Greeds is just too quick on the mark. Guru getting taken out. Voxy taking them down. Then followed by Greeds taking out Voxy. We've got some trades here, but it looks like Voxy has lost each and every player. And Greeds will defuse this and take the win.
Yeah. Equilibrium restored once again for Greeds. Be happy with that. Keep Voxy playing from behind. That's it. I mean, we saw this little sort of tit for tat between Team Voxy and Team Fangetta, and then there was a moment where Voxy just pulled out ahead on S&D and won it from there pretty comfortably. Just need 1 big clutch moment out from them. Defensive side again. I think the expectation again is to win on your defensive sides, but
we've seen both of these teams actually win on attack and defense, so could just be anybody playing here and getting it done. Looks like Win Red has been taken out already for Team Greeds. This could leave Voxy in a better position with defense and already taking out one of their players. Fighter takes out Guru. Looks like Greeds is gone too. It's just AG left with the bomb for Team Greeds. Looks like Voxy will get this one and make it a 2 for 2.
Yeah, that was a very one-sided round, wasn't it? But this is, I think, this is where we really start to put the onus again back on Voxy and say, all right, well, what can you do on the attack, right? You've got it on the defense. Okay, fair enough. You're playing catch-up, but if you actually want to win this map, you have to win an attacking side round. Because if we keep trading, inevitably, you'd expect this one is going to go back over to Greeds. But they can win this, really crack things open on the attack. Maybe we're off to the races. Maybe it's a quick grand final. See what Voxy has to say about it. Where are they going to head? Toward B this time? Haven't really seen much presence toward B early in the rounds. It's been really just heading A. And that goes down early. I mean, this is it all over, isn't it? The early rollout from whoever's on the attack, they lose a player early, and then it slows down, stagnates a little bit, but you lose the numbers advantage. It's very difficult to come back from it.
Exactly right. So, obviously we say people in defense can usually get the win, and you don't want to have it down to a coin toss. So if you go first and win on the defense there, so we do need to see what are the teams, pull out the big guns for attacking. But here we go. Fighter taking down AG Luca, taking down Win Red. All there is left is Guru on Team Greed's last alive. I'm watching Guri. I have seen some good stuff, but unfortunately, Voxy just find where he's hiding and take out that win.
All right, well, that is exactly what we were asking for from Team Voxy. I mean, they go down, they lose a player early, but all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, that round turns around on its head, and it's just Guru left alive in a 1v3, and yeah, never easy to close that out. So, interesting now. Have to see what Greeds can do in response. Dead Silence available for Luca.
Yes, so we have Team Greeds attacking, Team Voxy defending. The Voxy is ahead of the game here by 3. Guru just waiting patiently there for anyone to step around the corner. But it looks like both teams are just going to play a little bit more gentle. But Greeds is already annihilated, been taken out. Does he miss this grenade? Guru goes out by a nade. Luca firing away there. AG then getting taken out by Luca too. Looks like Voxy will have this. Can they find Win Red and make this 4-2 and make it ahead of the game?
Yeah,
Win Red just been a little bit scared here.
That would be a great start for Voxy. I mean, obviously there's still a bit of legs left in this map, but if they can go up 4-2, it's well and truly within their grasp. Even if they're trading evenly from there on out, it really throws that onus back onto Team Greeds to make something happen. And you could just see Winred has got no idea where to look, bouncing around like a bunny rabbit, trying to get any of these fights favorably, but not going to happen. And so Voxy do secure 4-2. 2 to go.
That's it. Winred just trying to stay alive there. Looks like Voxy just had excellent positions all around the map. Anywhere Winred went, there was a player on Team Voxy there, so we're switching sides. Team Voxy 4 in the lead. Greeds is only on 2, but here we go. We're going to have Voxy on attacking and Greeds on defending. Can Greeds bring this back to more of an even playing field? Here we see Zach just opening up the doors, getting for the nades.
Oh, they're going fast.
And here we go. Unfortunately, Guru and AG just waiting in the corner.
Well, I think that's a bit of a reason as to maybe why you don't see teams going too fast all the time, but it's actually ended up almost winnable for Voxy. It was a 1v1, but doesn't go their way. So 4-3.
That's
nice
it.
Shot from Goru right on the end there. That's the benefit of having sniper rifle. 1-shot kill.
Yes, from watching Goro today and just absolutely yeeting themselves into some of the rooms, it came out in their favor that time.
Yeah.
It was a really, really tight game there, and I basically blinked and it was over, but Team Greeds managed to secure that point. They really want to get to a draw and an even tie here, so they are still in the race. But here we go, Team Voxy on the defense. They're going to make their rotations and get set up, whilst Team Greeds, we have Winred with the bomb, going to try and make their way in and get that planted.
Yep, seems like a fairly default setup from Voxy. Good defense towards the A-bomb site. Couple of members watching the push in toward B. Although we haven't really seen too much action over toward B just yet. This is a nice spot for Zach to be playing in. Nice little cutout. Someone makes the mistake of walking in his direction, they'll be done and dusted pretty quick, smart. Fighter watching the cross is going to get the info at the very least. Someone has crossed onto the bomb site.
Yes, we have Winred here, trying their best to place it. And Zach and Luca has taken out Goro. Looks like we've finally got our first kill on the board. And then Greeds taking back Voxy. Winred taking out Luca. So we do have a 3v2. It's getting...
Oh, Zach's in a bad spot.
Incredibly spicy there. Yeah, can Zach make this out? Looks like he regroups with the team. Will he get this shot? And he does! Zach takes out Greed.
Into the 1v1. He's going to get aggressive as well. He's straight up onto the bomb site. Winred playing it way more passively, but with Dead Silence popped here, it's just a matter of time. Zach's going to look for the player and finds him. Winred making all that noise. Doesn't matter though. Time ticking away. Zach will not get the defuse. And it'll be 4 apiece. It was a good attempt for Zach. Really solid attempt, but in the end, time of the essence. And Greeds, I mean, they pull off a big, big comeback there and secure it back to 4 apiece. So it's anyone's game once more.
Yeah, Greed's got that early plant, and it just wasn't enough
Yeah.
for Team Voxy to take out the rest of the players and find it. So here we go. Greed's on the defense and Voxy on the attack. We are 4-4. We are neck and neck. Didn't think we were going to get here. Looked like Team Voxy were going to take the lead, but Greed's just snaking back into there. Here we see Luca taking some great shots, takes out Winred. Looks like he's taking out Guru as well. It's a 4v2. Luca just wants to eliminate the rest of this team. Can we see Voxy get the plant as well? Looks like Greeds is just taking out Fighter, making it even, and a clean sweep.
All right, well, Voxy back in the lead, and now they've actually got map point as well on offer. That's a big one to win. They would have liked to have gotten it done a little more comfortably than this, but it is still in their grasp.
That's an absolute highlight from Luca there, just taking out player after player. They are 5-4. Match point.
And I mean, look, it is Luca that's leading from the front at the moment for Voxy, isn't it? 13-4. And just needs one more round. Defensive side for Voxy as well. That has been a little more favourable so far between these two teams. Not to say that it's impossible to win on the attack, but Voxy have done a little better on defense and solve Greeds. Good early shots in there from Luca. I'm not sure that Semtex is going to finish him off, though. Won't.
See Luca here just getting to the same level and playing field. You do not want to be on the low ground fighting against this high ground team. Winred just trying to get these peak shots and find somebody, but you know, on the attacking side it can be a little bit difficult. Luca here taking some great shots, takes out Winred.
It's a good trade. You need to get that trade. If it goes 3v4 for no trade, then Voxy's in a really bad spot. But now they can still hang on to the A bomb site. You've got Fighter in a bit of an off angle. Going to need to be hard cleared. Question is, will go for that? Will not. Fighter takes the peak on a perfect timing. Voxy might be about to do it right here. Luca ducking back to safety. No shots coming through just yet, but Greed's going to take the peak. Luca out in no man's land will go down. It's back to 2v2. Greeds, Team Greeds, they can still win it from here. Voxy, surely. They've cleared out the A site now, and they've got to be aware that this is going to be B. They can make a fast rotate as that bomb is still just getting planted. Maybe isolate AG before he gets off the site. Doesn't look like that's occurred quickly enough. Zach in quickly, wins the duel. 1v1. It's now 2 players against just the one. And AG will have to clutch up from here, but he can play that timer. And he's gotten around behind, so maybe there's a world where he gets it done. Has he been heard? I think Fighter might have heard the info. Doesn't win the duel. Somehow AG still in for the clutch.
That's it. This looks like it could be anybody's game. AG, unfortunately, seems to look away. Zach getting there, defusing the bomb. AG was so close, doing some excellent runarounds there, but unfortunately looks away for just a moment, and Voxy comes in with the clutch. That is the win. First to 6 round. Team Voxy takes out the second round. This is their second win out of 5.
Yeah, looking pretty good. 2 out of 3 required in this best of 5 Team Voxy. Now, certainly strongly in the lead here, Jordan.
Yep.
Oof, that last round almost went the other way. Team Greeds.
I can't believe it.
And the fact is that, you know, when they get, it's a 2v2, and Team Voxy get the first pick, manage to get their player back out. Just like time to heal up. They still manage to turn it into a 2-1v1s when they should have just been able to trade.
I don't know.
Really took that further than I felt like maybe it needed to go.
Fighter going down there was a bit of a heart stopper because I was looking at Zach's position. I was thinking, look, there's actually not that much time, but AG goes for the peak, and I'm surprised that Zach has the balls to hold that angle for that amount of time, and it obviously worked out for him. So, you know, maybe he knows something that I don't, but man, that was really down to the wire. But again, Voxy walks away with the win, so they're on 2-0. And you're starting to see, I think they're kind of clutching up a little bit, right? They're a little bit better in those X-Factor situations when you need someone to make a big play. Someone from Voxy is going to be able to do it. And unfortunately, it's not really coming together for Team Greeds in that same respect. So
Luca 12-4 here at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Big.
A massive game for Luca. I'm not sure what he must end up on 14. But still, that's pretty impressive when you're considering it's 14 from what, like 10 rounds or something. So not bad at all. But now the pressure is really on Team Greeds. This is it.
It's reverse sweep territory. You have to reverse sweep. You have to win 3 in a row from here if you want to win the grand final. And I mean, how often do you see a reverse sweep happen? Really, not that often.
It doesn't. I feel like COD's so momentum based as well, and Team Voxy, it's a long day. They're 2 down now. They just need 1 more. This is the time. Boom, get into control, pick it up, come through, get the goods.
Money.
Yeah, let's get out and party.
Yeah, it has been a very long day for all of us, and all the players have still been holding it together and still performing. So, Team Voxy just need the next win, and that's done and dusted. But, Team Greed still want to win that cash money. So I don't blame them. They might be able to pull something out.
Well, that's it. It's easy to say, it's been a long day. Maybe it's time for them to call it quits. They're like, well, we won 4K. We could win 8K. We just need to win 3 games of COD.
Yeah.
3 games of COD against one of the best teams in ANZ.
3 games of COD.
Yeah, that sounds so easy, Ben.
Another 4K.
You should go do it. Go give it a crack.
No, I'm on the desk for a reason, Jordan. And it may be because I'm bad at COD.
I think you do all right in one of the influencer slots.
I would be a good COD influencer. Yeah.
I'd give it a good crack as well.
Nah.
I'm a demon on Warzone.
I don't think I'd want you on my team. I don't know.
We should go for a nuke.
No, I don't think you're very good.
You don't think I could go for a nuke?
No, I think
I've won 3 games in a row. I haven't won 5 games in a row.
I think I'd rather miss MDK in my team than you, to be honest. I'd pick her over you. I think she'd be better.
That's not very nice.
Yeah,
That's it. I don't really play Call of Duty, but I'd still do good.
still better than Elfish Guy.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah,
that's it.
I thought we were friends, but apparently that's not happening anymore.
Everything's spicing up even on the casters bench here, but we
I've had
are
enough.
in our grand finals.
Why do these casters hate each other? I don't even know.
Staging a walkout.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
been a good
Jacko's
day.
already done a run out. He thinks he's Jack Ryan. He thinks he's CIA
Yeah,
or
that
something.
guy.
But we've
he's
got
a piece
him
of
back.
work.
That's relief. I think we're going to have to stop him watching any more Jack Ryan. To be honest, we won't let him watch the. Maybe he got to watch a few episodes in advance, like me.
Yeah.
But as punishment, I'm not going to let him see the final.
No, he's definitely getting some bad ideas. He's doing some silly things. That fella.
Yeah, take his access from Prime Video, and he won't be able to watch it.
Give him a haircut.
Well, that would disappoint him.
I'm sure it would.
No more mullet. Well, how can you have mullet madness without?
You can't have mullet madness without a mullet. Maybe you just have to tape it on. I don't know.
We're about to get into game, just waiting for one more player to jump in the lobby, and then we will be good to go. It is our grand final. We started off with 8-team single elimination bracket. Been best of 3s all day. Now a best of 5 in our grand final. That 15K prize pool, $8,000 for first place. And all thank you to Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, the new season out on December 21. It is season 3 on Prime Video. If you haven't watched season 1 and 2, you should go and watch them after our grand final finishes tonight. And then a few days' time, December 21, you'll be good to go with the new season. And talking about 3, this is map number 3 in the best of 5, and this could be 3-0 here for Team Voxy. And if they do, they win the 8K.
Will the grand final end right here and now? Certainly if Zach has something to say about it. Good damage, but he's taken a little bit more than he can handle there. If he would have just stayed up the top, he might have been a bit safer, but it ends up being some trades coming through, and Team Greeds from a deficit are starting to come back into the swing of things. It is control, and Greeds starting off on the attack have already got themselves in a good position, capping half of A.
Yes, we just saw two players going head-to-head there, and fortunately it looks like Luca just didn't make the fight there. Here we go with Greeds with 28 lives left, and, Voxy's only got 24. Looks like they're dropping them like flies. But if if Luca from Team Voxy has anything to say about it, might be able to bring this back. But AG there, popping some great shots, going to follow up. Luca takes out Rush Greed, and it looks like Fighter's taking out Win Red as well. We do have one capture, and it looks like Greeds is working on Zone B, but being a little bit contested there by Team Voxy. Win Red with the action shots on Luca, biding their time.
Yeah, Luca does well to at least ensure that is going to be a 1-for-1. I think in this case, if you're going 1-for-1 on the defense, then you're still kind of keeping the attackers at bay. It's all about controlling space, right? If you've got someone that is in the position that Zach is, for example, and Greeds have to go through Zach and potentially lose players to him. Might be another one down here. Oh, down the back, catches AYG. You know, it's all about basically taking time away from the attackers. And the fact that Voxy are still doing such a great job of controlling the map, these fights aren't even over the cap point. If you're fighting over the cap point, Greed's trading 1-for-1. Greeds is actually in the advantage. But if you're not fighting over the cap point, you're trading 1-for-1. Voxy has the advantage because ultimately it's time taken away from Team Greeds. And even if they are winning these fights, then they're using that to get onto the cap point, and they still have to win another fight to actually win the game. 33 seconds left on the board. Doesn't really leave a whole lot of room left to work with for Team Greeds. And Voxy on this defense, I mean, they're looking good to hold it. They've got a good setup. They've got 4 players alive. You've got Greeds filtering their way in through mid. Fighter having gone down now, though, does give a bit of an opening here for Team Greeds, but it's a 1-for-1 as Greeds drops himself.
Yes, as we count down here, it's getting so close to that timer running out. It's in, looks like Guru's just going to hold this position here and just wait patiently and just make sure that they get this capture. But looks like we are on 2 ticks of the capture of Zone B.
Yeah, this is worst case scenario for Voxy. Fighter goes down. It's still challenging, still possible. You've got to get on if your team Greeds. I'm not sure they've got anyone there that can do it. It's Goru that's going to try to lead the charge, but they're way too far away, and they're just not quite going to be able to get it over the line. Voxy find themselves a win on the defense. I thought Fighter going down from that perch position. He didn't spot the guy proning on the point and gave up his life, and I thought that might be that, but they were able to wrap around the back, Voxy, and pick up the win. So all said and done, a win to start things off on defense. Not a bad shout, especially considering how many attacking side wins we saw in our last series. Let's see what Voxy can do on the attack now and what Greeds can do on the defense. I don't think you can judge this matchup just yet until you see the teams playing on both sides.
Exactly right. So we see our teams now making their rotations in. We did see a lot of eliminations and lives being taken, but it looks like Greeds and Team Voxy, they're ready to control the point. Seeing this game played out really well. Excellent shots by Luca. Zach also taking out AG. They are just mowing them down right now. Trying to get this going on Goro as well. Luca taking out Goro.
Yeah, he knew there was someone there, didn't he? He really knew that. So you could see he was hard clearing that corner. And he does eventually get his kill.
That's it. Luca just working hard on B there. And also taking out some people along the way. Ooh, Red eliminating Luca. It's just a free-for-all here. Yeah,
it is. Fighter, though, is stunned on the point, but still doing what he can to cap things up. He's really in the spot of bother, though. Multiple members coming in for the pincer strike and does get taken down. I think just needed to commit to one of those fights and hope that he could win the 1v1 to build a little bit of space. You've got Luca and Voxy starting to push their way through. But it's not happening. It's not really happening for Team Voxy right now. They need to just reset. We've got 45 seconds to cap that first one out. Fighter. Oh, looks for 2 here. Continued that spray, but, you know, caught a little bit on the timing there, and AYG able to find a double. Zach has no idea exactly where he is. Tough one to win, but does get it over the line. So that's an important kill for Team Voxy. They've got to have to get it done here, and now, and it's the kill streak. It's the trophy that keeps Goru alive. He uses it a bit of cover.
Yes, it looks like we've got Team Voxy there with 1 tick and trying very hard to capture the next one there on B. And hoping to be able to pull this off.
They'll get this.
Yeah, it looks like Luca is working hard on capturing that point and manages to get some progress at B, making the full capture shortly.
Oh! Maybe they won't. That's a double Semtex onto Luca and Zach. I think that's that. I think it's done. Greeds. I mean, they've pulled off a massive win here on their first defensive side of control. That is a huge clutch. And Team Greeds will equalise the score at 1 apiece. Team Voxy won't be pleased with that because they would have thought they were in with a chance there.
That nade just changed the game.
That nade absolutely changes the game. So back to square one.
Yeah, so we're going to switch sides here, but it's great to see that, you know, the teams are working hard and then nade just ruins your day for that. But so close. We are 1-1. Team Voxy on 1, Team Greeds on 1. We have Greeds attacking and Voxy defending. It seems like they're working extremely hard to capture these zones. It looks like we might have Greeds heading over to A. Team Voxy defending close by. AG just checking the corners and making sure can pave a path on that way. Win Red performing extremely well today. Just looking around and might be first to get taken out here, but only time will tell. But Luca just peppering some shots from afar here. We have Fighter very close there on Zone A.
Yeah, Voxy just trying to help Fighter out. Doesn't really seem to be super necessary. Fighter's getting it done himself, solo. Bangs on outside, and that's a really nice aim duel to win as well. So putting Team Greeds under a lot of pressure. There's only 38 seconds left here. And you're kind of in that position now where you're actually thinking, is Voxy going to find themselves an even more convincing win than what Greeds just got? Because Greeds stopped Voxy from capping either of the points, but Voxy might even be able to win this one and prevent Greeds from even capping a single tick.
Yeah, here we go. Greeds seeing what they've done wrong and trying to capture Zone A, get this first tick, and they do it. Progress at A for Greeds. They're working on their second tick now. It's going up here, and Goro just taking out 2 players. It might be here being contested, but they do. They make this one. Will they be able to get the full capture of A?
I think so. I think Voxy have given that one up. They've all moved their way back over toward B, so they've turned their attention toward that. 1 minute and 20 left on the clock here for Team Greeds to try to crack it open, get themselves an attacking side victory, and I think you can make the argument keep themselves in this grand final. Because if we keep trading 1 for 1, then again, Team Voxy looking really good to win it from there. They have the 2-map advantage. That's not an ideal passage of play, though, for Voxy. This is going to allow Team Greeds on to the point. Luca, though, comes up with a big one just to try to staunch the flow a little bit and keep Team Greeds at bay for the moment. Luca's in a good spot, but starting to get wrapped and wasn't aware of it, and so does go down. Trophy system out. Zach's winning some aim duels, keeping it alive, keeping it safe for Voxy here. Big one as AYG does get the better of Zach. If that fight goes the way of Voxy, they're back in control, but now it's still hanging in the balance. Goru got flashed or stunned or something, but still won the duel.
That's it, Goro on a bit of a killing spree here. They really want to capture that Zone B. It looks like we might have just Luca just protecting that zone. Can Greeds just make their way through and pave a pathway? Doesn't look like they can, but still with the capturing of A. It's looking like it's going to be a bit of a great game here. Zach peppering some shots and taking out AJ. Oh, unfortunately doesn't get the turnaround there on Win Red. And Greeds just following in shortly behind their Fighter with some fighting words.
Oh, that was almost really big. Didn't quite hold down that spray on the Win Red, but Fighter's able to get that trade on in, and once again, Voxy will find themselves a victory on the defense. Fully defense-sided so far. On control. Easy as you like for Fighter right there at the end. And match point now. Don't know that we can say it's going to be a super pressure-filled match point, though, for Team Greeds right here, because Voxy didn't put in the greatest of attempts on their attacking side.
That's right, and if Voxy take away this win, that's them taking away the championship win and the money. So Greeds need to either match up the points here and get 2-2, or it looks like Voxy will go home with the money.
Great start for Voxy, though. Luca and Fighter able to win the first couple of aim duels. They have a little bit of a 2-on-4 right now as those respawners are starting to come through. Already full control of the A site, and that one's going to be capped up as quickly as you would expect, or as you would like from a position like this for Voxy. They've just turned it on. Contest does come through from Goru, though, and he's well done a pretty good job of that, but point A is secured. And even now, as Team Greeds are on the respawns, Voxy's on their way over toward B, catching them on the rotates. That's going to be big. Luca team kills Zach. Winred does actually catch Voxy coming back on in, but Voxy, I mean, they've got positioning, and I think Winred's going to have to come up big here to try to keep things alive. Goru's caught Luca. AG goes down, but Zach comes up with the goods, and I am starting to feel like maybe this grand final is going to be done and dusted.
That's it. Voxy working hard to capture B, but looks like, you know, Greeds are just putting up a good defense. But Luca here just working their way through, Fighter just putting some people there. Here we go.
Ooh.
Looks like Foxy is making some progress at B. That's one tick down. This is, looks like when Red takes out Luca and Foxy, looks like a few players from the team are getting taken out there. Fighter is still just
it's not
looking
over. It's not over just yet. As long as Fighter is alive, he can't hold on for control of B. That could have been a big moment for him if he gets even one more kill there. Util's getting tossed on out. Voxy, minute 18, but it doesn't, it's not a lot of time to work with. AYG is just going absolutely nuts on this map. I don't know where this has come from, but he is causing some real problems for Voxy. One tick secured on B, but that's not enough to close this map out just yet. They want to win the grand final here and now, and Luca and Zach might have just provided that opportunity. Two important picks to open things up. Now they're in onto the site. They want to find some more trades, clean it up right here and now, and Luca is providing. AYG goes down.
Here we go. There were Fighter, Luca, Voxy on point there. Voxy still holding on for dear life just to capture that last tick. It looks like Goro's just come and ruined their plans there.
Yeah, starting to get last fight territory too.
That's it. It's very, very close here for Team Voxy. We're counting down. We almost have 40 seconds left on the clock. If they can make a big team push together, that could be the win for them.
When Red gets stunned, Luca and Zach once again opening the account for this position. The Greeds is holding has been such a problem for Voxy. Traded back down actually by Voxy, and that is that Voxy. Team Voxy have won the grand final. They've capped everything out. They get the win, 3-1 to close it out, 3-0. And they will walk away as the victors of the Modern Warfare 2 Invitational, sponsored by Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. A big dub today. And the grand final, 3-0 over their opponents. They make it look clean.
They did make it look clean, and that last map in particular felt particularly one-sided, right? So even though across the day these teams have been pretty close, when push came to shove, a 3-0 in the best of 5 here, Miss MDK. That's a convincing victory here for Team Voxy, so a massive congratulations for them.
Yeah, just a clean little sweep for them. Hey, like Team Greeds, still had a chance to fight back in there because obviously it's best of 5 and we've been having best of 3 all day. But Voxy said, no, we're done. We want the money. Let's go home. Let's just win this back to back to back. And that's exactly what they did. And that's what we want to see from our grand finalists. And amazing stuff by all the teams. But yeah, Voxy out on top.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from our last map of the grand final. And Jordan, it kind of felt like, as you said, defensive side, but then things changed.
Yeah, I think what changed really was Voxy just decided to step it up. They decided they wanted to go home, as MDK says, and they pulled off a couple of really big moments. To be honest, even right up toward the end there, I wasn't sure that they were going to get it over the line. I thought Greeds were just about hanging on with enough control, but they slipped up for half a second too long, and obviously Voxy took advantage of that and were able to get that third tick over the line. But it was a very close thing. It was such a great start to that last attacking round for Voxy. It seemed like almost a sure thing, but Greeds were, they were fighting their way back in, just unfortunately not quite enough.
They were indeed, and when we got to the very end there, about 30 seconds on the clock, Greeds was actually starting to run out of lives as well. So it wasn't just a matter of holding out in terms of time. They were running out of lives. I think Voxy was in a pretty good spot, but one at a time, they kept working it back, trying to hold on, but just not enough there for Greeds. And look, we'll still say congratulations to Team Greeds. They came in, I think,
they did well
at seed number 4 for today. But they didn't play like a seed 4, right? They played like they were second seed. They deserved to make it in the grand final. They took down seed number 1 in the semis, and they had some convincing victories today.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously with their circumstances as well, playing from overseas, you have to give them credit, right? It's going to be more difficult for them to compete than for any of the other teams that are playing in this competition. So to make it through to the grand final, yeah, massive credit where it's due. They played really well. I thought that there was definitely a little bit more in the grand final. We would have expected, to get maybe a map over the line for them. But end of the day, I think they've got to be happy with what they've been able to show. And they do walk away with $4,000. So can't be all that bad.
Not a bad result coming second, let's be fair. They showed up some of the top teams, including seed number 1 and Chrissy and her team. And they go home with $4,000. Not a bad way to spend a Saturday.
Exactly right. And, just amazing stuff by them. And, their grand finals was just exactly what I wanted. Just a bit of flavour, a bit of great teams going head to head. Well done to Team Greeds, but, Team Voxy just taking home that top prize pool.
Yeah, certainly do. So I think we got Voxy for a winner's interview. We had a chat to her earlier. And when we chatted to you earlier, Voxy, you were a little bit nervous. How do you feel now? Congratulations. You guys are the champions.
I cannot believe it. I've had to learn CDL rules comp in the last couple of days. Shout out to my teammates for walking me through everything. Fighter's been playing open 8s with me the last couple of nights, so I appreciate the boys' help as well.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, g'day Voxy. Congratulations, obviously, on the win. I want to know, in the spirit of Christmas, are you going to be naughty or nice with your prize money? You get 8,000 as a team, so I suppose you're probably picking up 2,000. What's the 2,000 going to? Is it going to you, or is it going into the spirit of giving? Are you giving it away to a couple of friends, family?
Or casters?
Or casters, your favourite casters. We all predicted for Team Voxy, by the way, in the grand final.
Sure you did.
Yeah, I think only one of you did, not two. So I might give some to one and not the other two, if that's okay. No, but I think I'm going to be nice. I think I'm going to be nice. It is the season of giving after all.
It is. Yeah, getting that towards the end. Miss NDK, anything you want to ask?
Yeah, Team Voxy just popped off. It was just so great to see your team sort of still collectively try to get it in the beginning there, and then just coming into your later matches and going to the semi-final and then the grand final, you just kept going up and up. You would think, getting a little bit more tired, Voxy. You thought, the skill level goes down, but you're like, no, let's keep going. And I hope the adrenaline was high, but you did such a magnificent job. And also congratulations to the rest of your team as well. It was just so great to have you and watch you play today.
Thank you. I think it was more so the nerves at the start, and then I got more confident as I played. More confidence, more comfortable with everything, yeah.
Before we close this one off, Voxy, any shout-outs that you wanted to make?
I just want to shout out my teammates, Fighter, Luca, and Zach, for teaching me everything that I needed to know within a short time span and playing today. They were absolutely amazing, absolute demons. Big thank you to them, and thank you to you guys for hosting and casting as well.
Happy to be here. Congratulations, and if they need a fill-in, maybe for CDL down the track, maybe you'll be the first one they'll call up, Voxy. But massive congrats for today. A long day. You guys came out on top. A massive 3-0 here in the grand final. Thanks for jumping on for a chat, and hopefully we'll get to see you next time we do one of these.
Yeah, thank you so much.
See ya.
Well, that was that's. I don't think that was a surprise. Let's be Voxy.
For what it's worth, I did actually predict for Voxy, so not a surprise.
It was me. It was only me.
Oh, yeah.
The person on the end of the desk has to go.
So I'm getting coal instead of cookies or whatever. But no, it's just really nice to see these teams just go in running, and I definitely. Voxy makes me want to play Call of Duty now, just seeing the way that you can go from, not being so adverse at it and then just taking the win, taking a grand final. Maybe I might give it a go.
Yeah, looked pretty. Today was pretty good. I think we've got a bracket or something to have a look at for the end of the day. But yeah, it's one of those things for me. Big day, big lot of games. 8 teams is what we started with. And we take a look at that grand final. Team Greeds up against Team Voxy, a big 3-0 coming through at the end. I don't think any of us predicted that it was going to be 3-0, but they just looked that little bit better here at the end of the day.
Yeah, they did. Maybe they just had that tenacity to stick in there. Obviously for Team Voxy and for Team Greeds, it's been a long day, right? We've been here all day long. They've been here all day long. They've all been playing, and it does get a bit tiring when you get all the way through to that grand final. So sometimes it's just an endurance game, and perhaps that's the difference.
And these are your tournament champions. Massive shout out to Team Voxy, but of course, cannot forget Fighter, Luca, and Zach. They are our players playing on this team as part of the championship. Obviously, part of a pro Call of Duty team, but they weren't the only one today, Jordan. They weren't the only pros as part of this competition, so it was not a given that they were going to come out on top, and certainly had to fight for it through today.
Yeah, I mean, look, they had to work hard. I think there was every team had to work hard, right? They didn't have an easy run. There was no necessarily easy matches. Everyone who played today either was a CoD Pro player or has some experience with Warzone or CoD or something like that. So yeah, no freebies basically, but yeah, it's nice to sort of see the winner crowned, and hopefully, you know, there'll be another one of these in the future for everyone to run it back.
Certainly hope so. Well, that's pretty much it from us today. Very big thank you for all of you who tuned in. To Miss MDK and to Elfish Guy, thank you very much for joining me on the desk. To our team captains and everyone who participated, of course, to Prime Gaming and Prime Video for helping to put this one on. We've had an absolute blast here at the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Invitational, sponsored by Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. Congratulations to Team Voxy, and of course, don't forget, Jack Ryan, the new season is back, December 21. I loved what I saw. You'll love it. Don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.
Just loading back in now, and some excellent shots there. We're just waiting for that. And is this Chrissy down by Chrono? Max taking out JHR, but that might set this team on top here. Been eliminated too. These shots are just amazing. The control that each player has. They've really been practicing for this event, and can we be able to get this? Great! Oh, and unfortunately, Limax is just too quick for Cronus.
Yeah, I mean to be expected with the position.
He's taking down Doom. Limax out with Taylor Morgan. It looks like it might go in favour of Team Chrissy again.
The last round, I think they were trying to beat them with pace on their last attacking side.
Only time will tell who's going to win this 1v1. And with the knife kill!
Not able to defuse just yet, but we'll be able to win the 1v1, and so
they get in there. We have 40 seconds there. It looks like we're being contested on hardpoint. Excellent shots.
And instantly lose a duel, so not really going to get too much value out of that one. Goru picks up 3 in a row.
Sure, they can't get those hit shots. And here we go, some excellent plays by AG, obliterating moves, and swiftly making those movements here.
AG playing the sofa, but now he's had to put himself in the crossfire, and that's the difficulty with actually from Team Greed. They're not aware of where Teeny is. That dead silence popped again, making the difference. It's Goru.
The bomb, but it might be too much. Does he get the shots? And Goru!
Shots in from HMA though, and all of a sudden, once again, it's Goru who is tasked with the clutch in the 1v1 cut. G is there to defend, and so time advantage now in the favour of Team Greed, but numbers are not. Has got that kill streak available already. And going to be looking for more. There's another 2, 10, 11, surely not.
Yeah, they've got a bit of a tactic here, not just controlling the point, but just going to take their lives. So they're just going to aim for
3. Still not enough to get onto either of those control points just yet. And bearing in mind, you've got to pick up both the control points. But team kill.
Oh, that's popping off. We just saw taking down a couple then, unfortunately.
And they're in on to B. Goru's rotates as well. This is looking fantastic. Oh, double
Goru
for
just
Goru.
Naughty. They are doing extremely well here. Winred just obliterating everybody that they see. Probably just a 2-piece there. Looks like we're getting neck and neck closely. It looks like HMA is also about to capture 1 tick for their zone.
4th though for this particular point.
Yeah, we just saw no violence in the whole area, and makes a player trying to take somebody down. Not much happening at the moment. A lot of teams are just getting out of positions. And there we go, Luca taking out Fatal and Nate.
In the back pocket for Team No Vitals. Attempted plant from Voxy's not going to go very well, and so No Vitals and
second kill on Stalker taking out Fengetta. Mish is just obliterating, and you do not want to roll up on Mish. Mish
trying to match that. Hassie's doing okay, 16 for 15, but the only member doing well is on Team Joelberg. So when that's going to be the case, it's not looking too good at all. Soccer's found another double. Looking, Cassie's there on the stairs. And Team Fangetta are not having too much success. They would need to be on the point. Game over, 248 points. Impact does go down. Ryan's
waiting for them, just patiently. Oh, and behind the door.
Good cover. Really great. Has just done the old ring around the rosy and has gone straight back to A to plant the bomb.
That's it.
Bit cheeky. Fighter thought he was going to go B. Got set up to catch that rotation, and what? As well, might give away the position of Voxy, who tries to win the duel, but Fighter and Voxy's already picked up the 2 kills in the round, and Zach's got another. So we have a numbers advantage right now for Team Voxy, and Zach lost the 1v1 against Vitals, and that starts to give up a bit of control. The trade comes back on through from Luke, and he wants to catch it.
We still no Vitals, 160, 170 just got their way. Who gets to 250?